kids, sometimes it pays to be gay.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, your eyes do not deceive you. We're doing another video this week. There is definitely no shortage of inspiration with everything going on. I mean, most of it's political. I try to keep mainline politics off of my channel. Now, politics does seep into my videos, and that's because I'm very outspoken against PC culture and everything that you see social justice warriors pushing for, because it affects our entertainment industry. And entertainment is something that I'm very passionate about. Obviously, I have my own beliefs when it comes to other things when it comes to our society, but it's not really what I like to talk about on this channel. If you want to know some of my views, you can always follow me over on Twitter at Metal Gear Mando, but for the most part, I try to keep things contained to gaming or books, television, and film for my channel. Now, as I said, a lot of things going on are pretty political. Obviously, we have a lot of riots, protesting. There's a lot going on, not just in the US, but around the world. But I saw something on Twitter that I had to talk about it because it's just absolutely disgusting. It's actually the New York Times Arts Twitter page. So the tweet reads, "Films will have to meet an inclusion standard to be eligible for Oscars," the Academy announces. "The details are still being worked out." Now, I've discussed identity politics a little bit in some videos, but the biggest grievance that I have, I mean, there's many to be had, don't get me wrong, but the biggest one is that it is all about stripping away everything else from a human being. Everything that makes you who you are doesn't matter. What matters is the color of your skin, who you like to have sex with, what gender, species, whatever you identify as, that is you as a person. And I don't know about you, but I think people are a little more complex than that. I don't think that's what makes you who you are. It might be a part of you, but that's not what should be the main focus. You have all of these people, these leftist extremists who are so obsessed with what you look like, what skin color you are, and that's how they value what you have to say. And this has been infecting our entertainment industry for years, and it's gotten to this point where you now have the Oscars, which, I mean, if we're being honest, the Oscars are a fucking joke, and they have been for a while. Now you have to have an inclusion standard? Like, what does that even mean? Your film is not worthy enough now unless you have a certain amount of black people in it, or a certain amount of Latinos, or Asians, or white people. Are you going to be judged on if your film is gay enough? Does it have enough gay people? Does it have enough trans people? This is literally a checklist. You could have these incredibly talented people, like you have Denzel Washington, Lawrence Fishburne, you have Michael B. Jordan, or James Earl Jones, and you think that you have to now put them in your movie because you think that's gonna get you an Oscar? I think that's ridiculous. Why can't people cast who they want to cast because they feel that they're going to fit that role the best, whether they are black, white, yellow, green, blue, who gives a shit? Oh, sorry, I'm just noticing that now I'm not being inclusive enough. I only talked about black men. I didn't talk about black women, like Rosario Dawson, or Viola Davis, or Halle Berry. See, I'm inclusive. Do I get to win an Oscar now? Was I inclusive enough on this list? Gone are the days of valuing somebody based on their talent, judging somebody based on their merit. Now it is, are you dark enough? Are you brown enough? You might be a little too white there. Calm down, buddy. Could you imagine if this was around, like Schindler's List? Schindler's List wouldn't be winning any awards. I mean, how many black people did you see in Schindler's List? How many anybody not white did you see in Schindler's List? I mean, the same thing could even be said for games that I've talked about on this channel. Like, you had The Witcher 3, which some outlets chastise for being too white, even though it is completely accurate to the time and the location of when that game takes place. Schindler's List wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense if you just saw a whole bunch of like Korean people running around and being in the concentration camps with a lot of the Jews that were disgustingly taken captive by the Nazi German scum. I mean, hell, are we gonna start dictating foreign films by this too? I mean, look at Parasite. Would Parasite win an award? It's not very diverse. Or is it only going one way? Is this diversity or this inclusion list only going one way? And I know that this says that they're still working out the details, but the fact that this is even being introduced in the first place is fundamentally wrong. I've had some people in my comments talk about how I'm wrong when it comes to minority groups wanting representation on screen, whether it be in TV, film, or games. But this is the kind of stuff that gives people the impression that they are doing this as forced diversity. It's not something that comes naturally. I am not saying that every inclusion of somebody that's gay or that belongs to a minority group, whether it be black, Latino, whatever, I'm not saying that that is always forced diversity, but it's shit like this that really makes you think, why are they doing this other than to force diversity into a film or into a game or into whatever in an unorganic way? And I don't think that anything that they come up with is going to be fair, because now you're putting this artificial barrier, this artificial floor where you have to have one of these and one of them, and it just seems so objectifying and dehumanizing. It's doing the reverse of what they want it to do. They're literally having to make a list of token characters, and I think it's disgusting. I really do. I can't describe it in any other way. Abhorrent, disgusting, distasteful, retarded. And hey, you might not see it as tokenism. I certainly see it as tokenism, but you may not, and that's okay. But you have to understand that this is giving people ammunition to say that it is tokenism. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. And remember, this all comes at a time where HBO just recently pulled Gone with the Wind because they said that it perpetuated racial stereotypes. The movie comes from a time where racism was acceptable. It's not a good thing. It is a representation of our flawed past. But not only that, it's a movie that gave the first African American, a woman, ever to win an Oscar. That is a historic moment, not only in just film and entertainment, but our culture as Americans. That is a huge moment, and they are trying to erase it. They are trying to erase this woman's monumental achievement because they feel that it upsets modern sensibilities, which is just pathetic. Do you think that Hattie McDaniel was chosen because of some kind of artificial diversity quota? No. She was in the industry at a time where racism was rampant, where it was rampant throughout our society. She was chosen because she fit that role for that movie the best, and she is a talented actress. This moment doesn't happen without Gone with the Wind. This news comes to me, and it's just the final nail in the coffin. The Oscars are dead to me. They mean nothing. This is their last attempt at gaining some kind of social favorability with everybody, and I'm 100% sick of it. The Oscars can fade away into obscurity as they continually try to grasp at their fleeting relevancy. And honestly, it's not even just the Oscars. I mean, it's entertainment as a whole. I mean, Jesus Christ, we have people calling to ban Paw Patrol because it's showing police in a positive fashion. People are losing their minds. They are just completely losing their grasp on reality. I think this Oscars thing is it's another drop in the bucket. That's really what it equates to. I could go on and on about this, and Jesus, I could probably do a whole nother video separately about the Paw Patrol thing and then the banning of Gone with the Wind, but I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to talk about what I think is absolutely absurd. Let's go back to a merit-based system. I don't want to judge people based on their race. I don't want people feeling like they have to be included just because they're a certain color, or excluded because they're a certain color. Sorry, we already have too many Asian people in this. I don't want to watch The Raid 3 and have them cut some of the actors because we have too many Asian people. I don't want that. Let the films cast who they want to cast. You are not just a skin color. You are not just a sexual identity. You are a human being You have layers, kind of like an ogre, but also like a human being. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up with that. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you want to support my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and apparently YouTube didn't notify anybody about my last video, so make sure notifications are turned on, and you share this video on social media as it really does help me out. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Metal Gear Mando. Stay safe, everybody, and until next time, I will see you in the next video.